good to finally meet you in person.
Yeah, after all the online meetings, it's good to finally get you over here and show you around and show you what we've got.
We have 2 terminals that have the IE5 drives now. How many do we have?
So we've got 35 in Terminal 5 and 35 in Terminal 3 on the tub track systems. They've just finished being installed now and they're behaving really well. We've got some data loggers on them trying to get the data out for the energy saving. The IE5 project, where we are using modern technology motors in legacy equipment. So where we've got old motors which are IE2, IE3, which are older and less efficient, the new IE5 are much more efficient, and we found a way to install them into legacy equipment in a plug and play situation. So it's very, very simple, very, very easy, which is really making massive savings. The project team here are working very hard to try and put it all together for them in the time they have. So, so it's really gathering momentum. We can go across and have a look at everything we're doing.
Yeah, sounds good.
See. Okay, cool.
As the product manager for tub tracks and for RAW, our conveyance solutions, they use the most energy and also the most CO2. So for sustainability, I play a big role regarding the development for the new products to make them more sustainable, how that works with the business case. So that's where I mostly look at for my day-to-day. What does your typical day then look like?
I'm in the office by 7:30. We have regular morning meetings with the terminal staff. We catch up what's happened overnight, anything we need to support them with or assist with. Normally try and go over to the terminal time, come over in the mornings. We've got a few little projects going on which sometimes they want me to go and have a look at. So this is the tunnel into the central terminal area. Everything has to come through the tunnel. We're going to go in here. Here we are, T5. This is where all the passengers normally come on their arrivals.
I see zero emission vehicle on the tugs.
So all the tugs are electric, so there's zero emissions, but they're capped on the amount of electricity they can have on the airport. So anything we can do to reduce the consumption of electricity, they can then reuse on these electric vehicles. You see up there, some of the cars are electric. So they can reuse it, repurpose it for other things. So it's really important that anything we can save is useful. So,
sounds good. Let's go to the system.
Okay, let's go. So this is a schematic of the tub track system, and you can see here that we've got IE5 motors starting from here, and they're installed all the way around here and then onto the loops. So yeah, about 35 motors installed in that little part of the loop there.
Yeah, you can clearly see here you also use a lot of different curves and straights and pivots.
Yeah, you've done one area completely with IE5 motors to try and get a good range of live wheel curves, injection points, and that kind of thing. So got a good range of different types of assets. Going to go into the bag store here and have a look at the IE5. If you want to go in there. So the motors themselves, we had to put a new coupler in and a new plate, but the inverters were designed to be plug and play.
Yeah.
We wanted to use the same cables, we wanted to use the same sensors. We didn't want to change any software in the system. So we came up with this inverter here. So we've got the same PPI, the same PEC, ASI connection, and then we've got also the opportunity to put some Profinet cables in the bottom for our condition monitor. So this is the key to the whole thing, to the fact this is so plug and play and it's so easy to install.
And then what do you do with the data?
So yeah, this is hooked up to the data logger. So this is recording the amount of energy this drive is using. Every 5 minutes it takes a data spot and we record that over a week. This is our way of double checking because we tested before and now we're testing after to be sure on exactly the same conveyor. This is what it was, this is what it is.
And where do you have these loggers? I already see one over there.
So as you can see, they're quite portable. So we have them on a couple of different sizes. This is a 2 kilowatt drive. One over there is a 1 kilowatt drive, just to see the difference between the two. And also we've got one in T3 on a different fence, a different conveyor. So yeah, I've got 3 in total while I move them around.
That's good.
And then obviously as you go along, you can see that all along the top, we've got IE5 all the way along.
Yeah.
The original drives are on the bottom. So these are all the drives we installed on the top layer here. As I showed you on SCADA, they go around through here. And then the drives continue along the top here, all the way along there, right around there. And that's where we all, as we saw with SCADA. So we're going to go through this door and then we'll go up the stairs. So these are all the IE5s, all the way down to the back store on both lanes.
Oh yeah.
Coming up, all the way up there.
So here you can actually see the drive.
Yeah, so here's the drive, this is the inverter. See the actual drive in place. This one's got a sensor on it, which is not really applicable on first. This is one of the main loops now that we're walking past, and we've also got IE5 motors on here. This one here is one of the first ones we put on actually. So you can see the motor gear unit there with the inverter. It's actually a 2 kilowatt version. One of the bigger ones we have on the system.
Good to see with the longer lengths.
Yeah, the much longer belts these bits because they scoot down.
All different kind of lengths, huh?
Yeah. And then they divert off to the different sections for unloaders or whatever they need to do. The bags that are coming down here are coming out of the bag store.
The customer really likes it.
Yeah, they do. Anything that we can get with sustainability, recyclability, all this kind of stuff, circular economy, they love it all. They're being measured, they're trying to achieve their goals. We want to achieve ours as well, so by working in partnership, we can really get that. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay. The IE5 drives that we're putting in are really, really efficient. They're going to save at least 50% of the energy bill that Heathrow are paying. This is obviously a huge saving in monetary systems, but also in carbon savings. We're going to save tons and tons of carbon every year, as well as all the trials and programs that we're running is really, really helpful for Veckle because we can feed all the data back to Veckle and they can take that forward and use it for designing smart systems for the future.
Vanderlande, shaping a sustainable future.